So Thomas, what's going on your end?
My story hasn't really changed. We've talked several times. Nothing changed. I'm really just sitting here. That's all I'm doing is sitting and thinking and resting and waiting. Yeah, I mean, nothing really has changed. I really don't know what to say besides that. It's just, I'm just being still.
Yeah, I've had several projectors reach out to me. Actually, it's been like a small flood of projectors that have reached out in like the last 2 weeks, to where it was so noticeable. I'm just like, okay, what is going on right now? But what seems to be happening like in the projector world is a lot of issues when it comes to being stuck in situations that are not healthy, of course, and not getting the invite from others to get pulled out of the situations. That's been like the main complaint that I've been getting from the projectors who have reached out, and of course working jobs that are more for generators as opposed to, basically more for energy types.
Right. Yeah, what you're saying about projectors, and I've only have regular contact with one, whose employment situation is the same as mine. So, but still, the conversation always revolves around the waiting pattern that we're in.
Yes.
And actually, I hear that. I hear that from a few other not projectors, but other energy types as well. You're stuck in the situation you're in. You know there's something better for you on the other side, wherever that is. You don't know when. You kind of have to endure your current situation until such time, and just the frustration that builds up with that, and not having anyone to discuss it with compounds it as well. So yeah, we talked about, I don't even know what to say when it comes to my situation. Talking about, I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm just really sitting here, and that's what a lot of other people are saying. Is that I'm just, sometimes you hear the word stuck. Sometimes you hear, other terms used, but you can't move.
Yeah, and luckily you're in a position to where you can, sit still, whereas most of the projectors that I've been in communication with, they can't afford to sit still. Like, as much as they want to rest and just sit still and wait, they're forced to be out there, to make money and pay their bills and things like that. But it's so difficult, because their bodies are dragging, of course, because they know they're not supposed to be doing that type of work.
Yeah.
And it's just it's really, really hard for them.
I really feel for them, because like you said, I've been in that position, and just knowing the toll that it takes on you, and thinking about it, at some point you're going to crash. And
yes.
That's, always my concern, because the crash can be it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
And the concern being, how will you even be able to transition into whatever, this next phase of your life is, because, your health has been affected to such a degree that you really can't do anything. And I'm on camera with no shirt on. So.
You know, I'm just like, whatever. People do whatever they want to do. So I didn't even like think to say anything. Like, oh, okay, that's what Thomas wants to do. Go for it.
Trust and believe. I was saying, let me put my camera on, but I thought it was turned off by default, and I turned it back on, and lo and behold, oh, let's fix this real quick. Hold on a second.
That's all right. We all have our bloopers, our blooper moments.
Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, that's much better. Much better. All right. What's my dog going around? I completely forgot what I was talking about. I think I'm talking about just understanding how they feel and feeling for them, because I just would hate to see, you know, having been in being in those environments to the point where you're just not physically able or emotionally to, you know, transition into something that's more suited for you. So, yeah. You know, in my case, fortunately, I think back on how did I even get to that point. I had wanted to leave my job for years.
Yeah.
Something in me, fear, maybe a lot of other things that kept me from doing it. But I think subconsciously I have been saying to myself, this isn't what I wanted. There was something better. Now that I think back on it, and I think the universe just responded, and, you know, then they let me go. Yeah, that's tough. You know, and I wonder if they ever even talk to you about, do they even know what they want to do going forward? Because that's another thing you have to consider is, yeah, you want to get out. What are you going into? Because it's drastically different probably than what you're currently doing. And that's the other challenge that, you know, myself and others have faced, even though, no, I don't have to, I'm in a position where I don't have to go into work every day. You still have to, I'll use the word, figure out what you're going to do next.
Yes.
And I personally have found that to be quite the challenge. Because you either may not know, or you know and don't have the confidence to go into it. One of the two. So that transition can be pretty tough. It's I wish I had some good advice to give them. I really don't, because frankly, I need it myself. I
was going to ask you if you had some advice for the projectors with you, you know, being older and, you know, having more wisdom under your belt and more experience as a projector. I noticed that the younger projectors are still in a space of being hijacked by the generator energy. And they haven't realized yet that they are, you know, destined to burn out at some point. For you, do you remember around what age you really started feeling that, you know, that breaking down of, you know, I really don't operate like a generator? Like, when did you like realize like this isn't really my energy that I'm operating off of? I'm being moved and I'm by the generators who I'm around.
I was 45.
Oh, wow.
45. Right around that age. I had developed a reputation for always working. I worked like a generator. I came in at 7, I left sometimes at 6, and I did that 6, sometimes 7 days a week. And all of a sudden, I just couldn't do it anymore. And I couldn't get things done around the house. And it had me into a point where I was really in fear of losing my job. And I couldn't really explain why. My body just shut down. now I understand what it is. But I was around 44, 45 when that happened. You can just push so far, and your body's going to just make you stop.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, it worked out, but the consequences could be different for others. So, if in some kind of way I can help them make that transition in some sort of way before they get to that point.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. I don't even know what it is. If it's nothing else than sharing my experiences, maybe that'll help, but I would certainly be glad to do it because I clearly remember what that felt like. I felt like I was about to lose everything because I was no longer functioning as the man that I had been those previous 25 years, and I didn't know why. And so the people that are working with me and my family that are around me all the time, they don't understand it. So we're all just kind of in this nowhere place. And like I said, thankfully, so grateful that it worked out the way that it did. But that's not going to always be the case. So if in some sort of way I could help prevent someone from getting to that point in whatever way I can, I would gladly do it.
So if this isn't something that's too personal for you, can you because all of the projectors that I know have some type of addiction, and it's usually in dealing with just having that open sacral center. So whether it's food, whether it's sexual energy, it's so many things that cause the open sacral to crave more and more and more. Do you is there anything that you feel comfortable sharing that deals with what you noticed in your body when it came to it wanting more to try to compensate for being drained so much from the generators and just overall the energy types?
It was definitely food. I noticed, and I didn't think about this until I left. When the day after I got laid off, so that was the end of May 2017, my appetite immediately changed. Typically what would happen, not knowing this, my job was a lot of multitasking, very busy. If I had a bad day, I would go straight to the grocery store, get 2 of the biggest steaks I could find, all of it, and eat until it put me to sleep. And I did that for years and never really thought anything of it not until I got to the point where I really sat down and started to go through the know thyself process. And understanding what emotional eating was. And now with human design, understanding that I was working in a way that I am not energetically capable. And so stress was my trigger to eat. Then I would sleep. Then it would be the anger and guilt for doing it. That was absolutely my pattern. And again, next day after losing the job, it stopped.
Wow.
It stopped. Like I only eat once a day now. That's all I need. The craving for meat and starches and all that just stopped.
Wow.
So I know very well what being in those environments can do to you. And if nothing else, just to help, I know that's something that you do when you do the readings and all that, but just to help people understand, maybe help shed some light on what's actually happening to them being in those. That's pretty big. Because if that alone could prompt you to take action that you may have felt you were unable to do or fearful of, because, frankly, I think my weight had gotten up to 360 pounds because of all that.
Yeah.
And think about all the potential health issues that I could have had.
Right.
So, just in sharing that with people, maybe that'll be helpful. I don't know. But I can certainly shed light on how much of a toll that can take on you. And I would certainly not like to see anyone get to the age of 45 before they realize that. Quite a bit of damage will be done to you emotionally and physically during that process.
Yes. Yeah, that's big. Thank you for sharing that. And for everyone else who's watching, Will, thank you for joining. I don't know if you're still on, but feel free to hop into the Google Hangout. James, you're more than welcome to hop in too, if you feel comfortable, and anybody else. But because I don't know who's watching. I know there are people who were drawn to this channel because of the narcissist interview that I did with HG Tutor. So I kind of have like a split audience, and I'm coming to like really understand that. So it's people that are not aware of the human design aspect of what this platform is about, because those HG Tutor interview videos got a lot of hits, and they still are. So yeah, for anyone who's watching, feel free to ask a question about anything that you've seen on this channel. If I can, learn it, or just give some more information, I will. But yeah, I'll just keep, talking to you, Thomas, until I see some more interaction. But yeah, that's big. That's really big. And a lot of the that's the issue with a lot of projectors, just the food addictions. And what's interesting is I've been able to observe like children, like projectors who are children, like 3-4 years old, and projectors really do not eat a lot. Like naturally, you all don't eat a lot at all. And it makes so much sense, because you really, when you're operating as your correct self, you don't really have a need to eat a lot, because you're not utilizing energy like that. But when you're taken over by the energy types and the generators of the world, your body feels like a generator for that time being, which is usually way more time than what you all should be feeling like a generator. And it changes your appetite. It changes, it depletes you a whole lot faster, to where the quickest way for the body to like regain whatever it feels like it has lost is through food. So yeah, like I see, it's been a lot of situations to where I have seen parents who may have projector children, and their projector children may be like picky with their food, like really just eat a little bit at a time and take breaks. And because the parents don't understand that, the parents may get mad at the child and like try to force them to eat faster. And that's just not the way that you all operate. And it's kind of unfortunate for the child, because their bodies know what they need as a projector body, and they know that they don't need to be scarfing food down their throat. But the parents don't know that, and the parents are like, you taking forever to eat, hurry up, eat your food, blah 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 blah. And it's like, that's not good. But when you start getting that programming early, especially if you have generator parents and you're a projector child, that also has an effect later on in life as you get older, when it comes to the way in which you're eating and like the amount that you're eating, because you've kind of overridden, I think that's the word, you've overridden the body's natural functioning. When it's ready to take in food, the body may say, I just would like a small salad today. But if you started getting programmed early to eat more than that, or to eat more portions or more types of food, then that can become a part of that addiction that's hard to break as you get deeper into the generator world.
It is
So
very difficult to break. And obviously the key is, being in the right environment, which is
yes.
a whole nother, probably, I would say the biggest challenge. Fortunately, it's just me. So once I'm kind of once I'm out of that environment, it's just me, and I've had the time to assimilate into who I really am. And other things for other people that would complicate that. So yeah, it can be, I don't want to use the word daunting. It's just certainly, it's a process that you have to go through. And, I forgot what I was going to say, but anyway, I just don't want to see anyone have to go through the process that I went through. Hello? I see you.
I'm here, Thomas. I'm sorry. I just had to turn the outside lights on. It's getting dark.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah,
I
I
thought
heard that.
Yeah, anyway, I would just, like I said before, would try to help in any way to for someone to not get into their mid-40s before they're able or even able to make these adjustments, because I was just very fortunate that I didn't have some sort of serious health issue before I found human design and was able to become the person that I am becoming. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
And I think about my mother. My mother's a projector, I found out recently.
Right. Yeah, you told me.
And so now I'm thinking about her. She's 74. Having all these health issues. And again, those are where I got my eating habits from. And she, of course, got hers from her parents. So she didn't know.
Right.
She's paying the price for it now. And
yes,
it's really a struggle to watch her try to get her health back. But then she's going to have to change her eating habits. She's going to have to change a lot of the environments that she's in. She's going to have to get rid of some of the people that she's around on a regular basis, because these are all triggers as well. And when you're at that age, and how do you do that? And I'm trying to get to the point where how can I even have the conversation to help her understand what it is? Because let's just say we have the conversation and she gets it. Can you make those kinds of adjustments at that stage of your life? I don't know. So, that's kind of what's going on with me, is just silently sitting here and trying to get myself together, and in doing so, in whatever stage of the journey that I'm on, if there's someone who is just starting whatever, I try to make myself available if I can, just to impart things that I've learned along the way. So, and I think that's going to probably happen a little bit more. I'm finding myself being a little bit more chatty than usual. So,
good. That's good.
That's making me feel like that I'm going to probably be doing a little bit more of that going forward in some sort of way.
Yes.
So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Thank you, Thomas, for that, because it's people really are requesting the proper platforms to express themselves and to discuss, certain situations and issues and ask questions and all of that, because people are experiencing things in their individual realities, but they're finding that the people around them, they they can't relate to them. You know, they can't, you know, have those dialogues. So that's one of the reasons why, you know, I opened this up tonight, since I had the opportunity. I have a question, because like as I was listening to Will talk about the cryptocurrency and then hearing what you said, Thomas, do you feel that cryptocurrency is like in alignment with the way you are as a projector? Do you feel that it fits like that whole, like being able to, you know, focus in on that one thing at a time? And do you feel that it will be draining or make you put in too much energy? Because I don't see you like having to run around with it.
No.
So it kind of seems like it would fit.
It doesn't require an exertion of physical energy, which is the beautiful thing. You know, I could sit here at my desk, read while you're learning. There's no physical exertion involved. There's nothing that will exhaust me, basically, is what I'm saying. So yes, okay. I see what you're saying. I see where you're going. Yeah. You know, could that possibly be a direction I go down at some point in the future? I could see that, because I have a background in the financial field. I mean, as I worked in IT, but I understand it. So that's very possible. Yeah, that's, you know, you just gave me something really interesting to think about.
That would be lovely, like for you to just be able to sit back, not have to do any type of business, just, you know, and make money and learn the business.
That is absolutely what I want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, thank you for that. That certainly sparked a thought. Just in regards to whatever I do, it will operate in that way, in one way or another. It'll be a thing where the business or whatever it is I'm involved with will pretty much be self-sustaining. It won't require a lot of input and involvement from me, at least not in the way that I used to work. So yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What you gonna do? All right, cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's a lot. It's a lot, and my energy is not gravitating like towards it right now. So I would love to know that, you know, people that I'm close to are like gathering the information, since I can't do it right now. And to know that, because I feel like, you know, in the connections like what we have, and you know, certain other people that are like on that frequency, it's like when other people are in their lane and doing what they're designed to do, they're an extension of you. So I feel that whatever you're learning is just like another brain for me to learn from, and I don't have to actually put in that work and that time, because it's just not enough time in a day to do all of the things that you would really want to do. So it's good when you can connect and have people, you know, that are a part of your network that are, you know, gathering certain pieces of information that are a part of that bigger puzzle, you know?
No, that's absolutely true. And, you know, now that I think about just this conversation that we're having now, has me feeling like, and things have happened over the past couple of days, that things are starting to come together, even though I don't have an answer per se. I don't know, how would I say it? It just feels like this conversation, which, you know, cryptocurrency had been kind of in the back of my mind. You know, initially when we were conversating, we were talking about, you were asking me about, you know, how as a projector, what were one of those things, the what was the word you were using? We'll say hangups that I struggled with. And that is something, you know, when I was talking about eating, and that's something I have been thinking about too, is could that possibly be something that I could help people with? And these conversations are sparking some ideas.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's actually what I think that's what's going to lead to whatever this next step is, which I do feel is coming, I think, fairly soon.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like it. You know, then Will jumps in. We talk about cryptocurrency some more. So, yeah, I think this conversation is going to lead to something for myself and us at somewhere. You know, I've talked to you many times about, obviously, I do believe that you and I will be working together in some way. I still don't know, but I've long felt that. So maybe this is just a step in us going in that direction, whatever it is. So
yeah, I'm glad that, you know, this went the way that it did, because when Will got on and then you all started talking, like, that made me feel good, because I'm like, I know you need that, you know, like, you need that interaction with him, and because he's like full speed ahead with it, and that's something that you're already involved in and you can relate to, it's always good to, you know, for other people to connect with those that resonate in other areas and categories that they're interested in.
Yeah.
So
no question.
I definitely feel that worked out really, really well.
It really did. And going back to, it was indicated to me in a reading recently that I guess whatever this next start of my life is going to involve me doing a lot of talking to large groups of people, which I can't even fathom.
Okay.
And I think today might even, if that's the case, you know, today might be a step in that direction, because it just hit me that we're still on YouTube Live. I forgot.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I mean, I knew, but then when I jumped into Google Hangouts, I forgot, which is probably a good thing, because if I had known, I wouldn't say nothing. I wasn't gonna say a word.
Oh, wow.
But it's very clear that that's something, my hesitance to speak publicly is something that I'm going to have to get over. There have been too many indicators that I'm going to be doing that going forward. So
yeah,
this chat has been valuable in that way also, to get to the point where I feel comfortable presenting myself publicly. Yeah. So we'll see where that goes. That's going to be real interesting to see, because even now it's something
that's
really can't fathom, but I think it's coming.
Yeah, the changes are they can't be stopped. No. And you know, when you look at the information that's out here, and you know what's being presented that is actually like helping people to expand and become more aware about, you know, real things and situations, as opposed to the information that's being put out that's more to distract and entertain. You know, more and more people are going to be forced to experience things that are going to be shocking to their system, and that's going to force them to look for information and look to people who have been putting in some type of work dealing with their, you know, their inner self, and just, you know, really getting themselves in a better position so that they can be of some type of service to others. Those people are going to be looked for by others, and is going to be due to some type of crisis, you know, that's going to be taking place, and you know, not just with the collective, but in different individuals' lives. And yeah, you know, you're gonna have people that you may have thought you would never talk to again or never see again, that, you know, are going to be popping up out the blue saying, hey, I remember you said something, you know, a long time ago, like, what were you talking about? Or, you know, like the things that you've said to people that may have been ignored, or people laughed at you and thought that you were crazy, you still implanted something there. And whatever you implanted is going to come forward when people need that piece of information to make sense, and they're going to like come back to you. And yeah, you want to be ready. You know, you want to have the proper energy, the proper awareness of self, know how to set those boundaries, because
Oh yeah.
you know, people gonna be ready to like jump on and hang on for dear life. So
And that's
you know, you just want to.
Interestingly, I think that's happened over the past few days. And you're right.
Oh wow.
Your energy, because the conversation happened. A friend of mine, we were hanging out, and all of a sudden he was recalling conversations I had with him. And I ended up trapped in that car for like 3 days.
Yeah.
I crawled out of the car sometime, but that's a perfect example of that situation, and another that happened a couple of days ago. That's what it's going to be. I never thought about it like that. And now that I think about it, that's the beauty of having all this downtime also.
Yes. Yes.
That I do have more energy to give in those situations when they present themselves. And my mind is not cluttered with work and all those other things surrounding it. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, that gave me some clarity on some things. I didn't think about it like that, but now it's starting to look like things are coming together. Because, you know, you said something in one of your videos about you spent 5 months looking at walls or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. And you just don't. I was like, what? It felt right, but not really. Because I was sitting somewhere, but you didn't know where, and it just felt really weird. I was like you. I was sitting in the house, and I'm just sitting there.
Yeah.
Days on end. But now it's becoming clear as to why. Because I need that time to reflect. You need that time to rest. You need that time to heal. You need that time to grow. So then, in my case, when these people are coming into my life that I had been speaking with, which was French to them then, and they're at a stage in their life now where it resonates with them, I'm ready.
Right.
Otherwise. So it's all coming or becoming clear. Now I just, you know, other things need to play themselves out.
Right.
We often run. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun, though, seeing me talk a lot. That's gonna be funny if that happens.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, because it's been a long time coming. You
know, it was interesting. I thought about the first conversation that you and I had. So that was February of 17. And I've looked at the other conversations that you and I have had since then, and the fact that I sounded completely different.
Yeah.
And I was recalling a conversation I had with a friend a couple of days ago, and I sound like that person again. I don't know why I said that. That meant something. But it feels like I got my voice back, I guess is what I'm saying. I got my voice back. When I talked to you the first time, it was the first time I went to Arizona. And I've told you about the whole Arizona experience and how different it sounded. And then when I came back and I've talked to you since, how differently I sounded.
Right.
Now I feel and sound like that person I had that first conversation with you with now. Where am I going with that? I don't know. But I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. I know what you're saying. I can feel it. And yeah, I think it's almost like everything is coming back full circle.
Yeah, you know, at that time we had that conversation. Yeah, that was a time when I felt I had gotten my voice back, the voice that I never had. That was the first time I noticed how differently I sounded when I was in this new environment. Like I said, then I told you I lost it. And like I said, I'm just now starting to feel it again. So, yeah, it's probably going to lead to me doing something I thought I'd never do. And that was, speak publicly, but it's actually something.
You have to.
Yeah, I don't have a choice. I don't think I really have a choice. And it's a thing where, talking about your body just kind of leads you into what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works. It'll be something, whatever it is, I won't even think about it. It'll just happen.
Yeah.
And until someone brings it up, then I'm gonna say, wow, if I had thought about it and if I had been given time to think about it, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
That's how it's going to happen. Today's a perfect example.
Yeah. I was really surprised that you got on.
Reveal myself during this conversation.
Yeah.
And look where it went.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what's up.
Yeah. This is great. I appreciate you, Thomas. I'm real glad you got on, and I'm glad I could help and just set some type of foundation for this to, flourish into what it did.
Oh, you have no idea how beneficial, our conversations have been in the readings with human design, because that was of the esoteric sciences or whatever you want to call them that I've dealt with. That was the only one that I grasped quickly. So it was able to make sense to me. And then I could put it to good use. Much quicker than I could anything else. So, then like I said, the subsequent conversations that we've had have, like I said, just been absolutely invaluable to get me to the point where I am today.